Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkrupatamahamvande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam Paramanandamadhvam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram.
अरे बोलता बच्ची
Hari bol Prabhu.
ये
So
कौन
we
है?
will.
कौन?
कौन है? सविता रानी के बेटे हैं या फिर पोते
Yes,
हैं?
yes, my daughter.
Daughter. अच्छा, nice one. So today we will continue our Shikshashtakam text 5. So yesterday we've been looking at the mood of Shikshashtakam text 5. And today some part is there which is remaining, which we will focus on. So yesterday we have seen that Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavambudho Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sthita Dhuli Sadrisham Vichintaya. O my Lord, O Krishna, son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servant, but because of my own fruitive acts, I have fallen into this horrible ocean of nescience. Now please be causelessly merciful to me, consider me a particle of dust at your lotus feet. So because of your fruitive activities or because of some or other reason, we have fallen. And now we want the Lord's mercy so that he can uplift us and situate us at the dust of his lotus feet. Now, the one important point, like yesterday we have understood, like, in karma and jnana path, okay, our endeavor is almost enough. Okay. Kripa part is also there, mercy is there, but that is not so primary, right? But in bhakti, the mercy is primary. So our endeavor actually important, but it is not sufficient. But the mercy of the Lord is actually the primary thing, and that will actually make every endeavor actually successful. So today we will talk about a very important part, which generally our mind keeps us, reminding about, and our mind tries to keep us down low by telling so many things when we fail in our endeavors, right? So many times what happens is, our mind will start blaming us, complaining about us, condemning us so much that we start feeling like maybe bhakti will not work for me, right? I may not be able to progress in bhakti anyhow, right? So I have tried, I have failed many times. So now I think I should give up bhakti, right? So during this time, the knowledge that we are trying to share today is very, very important to remember. Okay. So we should remember that we are unqualified to receive the mercy of the Lord, but we are never disqualified to receive the mercy of the Lord, right? So unqualified and disqualified, they sound maybe similar, but actually there is a difference. Unqualified means we have no qualification, right? So we are not eligible as of now. But disqualified means we are actually barred from the competition or barred from the participation itself. We are not allowed to participate. Just like, sometimes in the Olympics or in the sports, some of the players found that they took the drugs. So it's a doping crime, isn't it? So they will say, like, you have taken drugs and you are not allowed to participate. So we are barring you from the competition. So disqualified means we are not allowed to participate itself, right? So we should remember that in bhakti, we are never disqualified. Wherever we are, the road to Krishna is always open. The doors of Krishna's home are always open. All right. So Krishna can never say that, I have given you so many chances, so many opportunities. You told that you will do this, you will do that. Every time you promise and you don't do anything, right? Now I have given you enough opportunities, enough chances. It's done. It's enough now. Okay. I am not going to give you any opportunity now. I am not going to give you any mercy. It's done now. Right. Don't show your face to me. So, like, this situation never happens. And yesterday also we spoke that a jiva cannot do any mistake or any aparadha where Krishna can give up on a jiva. Right. So Krishna's doors for us are always open. Right. Now, it doesn't mean that we take things for granted. Okay, Krishna's doors are always open, so I'll go later. Okay, not now. No, we have to be understand this in a more merciful way. Like, Krishna has a choice to close the doors, but he never closes the door. So for that person, right, we should try doing something more. Okay, we should not give up. If Krishna is not ready to give up on us, why we should give up on Krishna? Right. So let us try again. Wherever we are, we still can restart our journey towards Krishna. We can move forward towards Krishna. Yesterday we shared an example of a person fallen in a well. has to be rescued from by the person who is outside the well by giving a rope, right? And that rope is mercy. So Krishna's mercy can penetrate anywhere, it can reach anywhere. We cannot say that I have fallen in a so deep well that the rope of mercy cannot reach me, right? So Krishna's rope of mercy is so long that whichever well we are fallen, whichever direction we are fallen, however deep we have fallen, it can reach us, right? And most importantly, our mind will actually start complaining and condemning us during the journey of our bhakti, right? So that time we should remember that, okay, I may have fallen down now, I may have committed some mistakes which I'm not supposed to do, I might have done some sins, some aparadhas, some offenses which I'm not supposed to do after practicing this much of bhakti. But one thing we have to remember that Krishna has uplifted us from the most abominable position, right? Now, why he will not lift me from this position? When we were not practicing bhakti, we were so fallen. Now also we are fallen souls only, but we are not that fallen, right? So earlier we were so much fallen that from that condition itself we have taken up bhakti. Now, if we are failing in some of our attempts, why we should give up? Why we should be disheartened, right? So we should be fully enthusiastic and we should have faith in Krishna that if he could lift me from the most abominable position, he can lift me from here also. So I will keep on trying. And this is the mood of 9.30 and 31. In the 9.30, Krishna says that apichet suduracharo bhajate mam ananya bhat sadhureva samantavyah samyak vyavasito hitasaha. And in the 9.31, he says kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat chandim nigachati kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. That means even if we do the most abominable action, if that person is engaged in devotional service, Krishna says that he's to be considered saintly because he's properly situated in his determination. And in the 9.31, the translation says that he quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace, O son of Kunti. Declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So once we are on the path of bhakti, we should be assured that we'll never be disqualified and we will never perish because Krishna guarantees this, isn't it? So what we have to do by knowing this assurance and guarantee, we should practice more. All right. So our endeavor may not generate mercy, but our endeavor has a possibility to attract the mercy of the Lord, right? So what I mean by it doesn't generate, but it can attract. So generally when we go to the food booths, okay, so in the airports or in the big malls, we will see some food booths where the food is kept, okay, generally packaged food will be there, okay. So when you put the coin or when you put the enough money and when you click on it, then the food item will come out. So the money that you put is generating food for you. And sometimes when we go to the self-service counters, we go and pay and take the token and we give the token and the food we can receive, right? The person who is giving the food cannot say that, though you have given me the token, I will not give you the food. So there is no choice, okay? Once the token is given, food has to come, isn't it? So your endeavor is generating the food, okay? Your money is generating the food. So similarly, we cannot expect that our endeavor will generate mercy, right? Krishna always has a choice. He's Swarat. He can decide, okay, whether to give mercy or not. Because if we see our background, we cannot demand that, I am putting effort, so you should give me mercy, right? Just like when you apply for a loan, there will be a background check, what all you did, what was your credit history, what all your payments history and all. And then they will decide whether to give or not. We cannot demand a bank to give us the loan, right? So even if we cannot demand a bank to give a loan, how we can demand Krishna to give mercy? By having such a background that, we have committed so many sins, so many offenses from many, many lifetimes. So we can never say that I can ask Krishna, demand fully that I have to get the mercy, right? Sometimes we do this. We will go to Krishna and we will say, see, I'm chanting this much, I'm listening to this many classes, I'm reading this much, I'm given up these many things. Oh, Krishna, what are you doing for me? Right? The problems are still there. But on top of that, you are increasing my problems. So what is this? Right? I should get your mercy. I should get the support from you. So sometimes our mood will be like this. And sometimes we will be angry. And some people will give up bhakti by thinking that, he has not done good to me. He has taken away people from me. He has taken away my opulences and all. Now, after praying to him, after worshipping him, also, if I had to face this situation, what is the use of praying him and worshipping him? Right? So many times our mind will actually flip us. Okay. It will do scams like this by telling us, like, what is the use? Or it will say, you are useless. Either Krishna is not helping, or you are not eligible to receive Krishna's help. So in both ways, it will try to get us away from Krishna. So we have to understand that our endeavor is always important to attract Krishna's mercy. Once Srila Prabhupada was going on a morning walk with his disciples and his followers, and he saw that there was a man who was actually throwing some food morsels to the ducks in a small lake kind of, or pond kind of thing. So that in that lake there were many ducks, but one of the duck was quacking a lot, right? And this person, by seeing the quacking of that duck, he started throwing some extra morsel of food to that particular duck. Okay. And Prabhupada saw that and he told to his followers that, this is what we have to do. We have to call out to Krishna so sincerely, so loudly, that we should attract Krishna's mercy, right? Actually, this person who is throwing the food has complete freedom where he has to throw the food. But because this duck was quacking, he could throw the food in that direction more. So similarly, Krishna can give mercy to anyone, right? And Krishna will decide whom to give. But if we are quacking a lot, that means if we are sincerely chanting and calling out Krishna through our chanting and service, Krishna will actually show mercy towards us. He will direct his mercy towards us. So we may not generate the mercy, but we always have the probability or the possibility to attract Krishna's mercy. And this mercy attraction should be done in a mood like a beggar. Right now, when we talk about comparing ourselves with a beggar, our false ego and false pride will come out and it will say, how can you compare me with a beggar? Right? But actually, we are beggars only. Right? Nothing belongs to us. Whatever is there with us, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, the food that we eat, okay, we might think, okay, I'm putting some endeavor, I'm making money, it is my hard earned money, because of that only I'm getting food and water and all. But even if you have a lot of money, if the Lord decides that there will be no air, no water, and there will be no production of the food from the earth, then nothing we can do. So everything that we have is given by the Lord. Sometimes we may feel like because of our endeavor, we are getting all this, but actually Lord is providing all this and your endeavor is just one step in that. Right? Many times, even if you don't do endeavor, you will have food. Like many animals are there, they don't endeavor anything, but for them the food is still supplied, isn't it? So everything that we have is given by Krishna only. So we are truly beggars only, right? Everything belongs to Krishna only. Unless he gives to us, we don't have anything. So there is a reality, but when we have a false ego and false pride, it actually doesn't allow us to accept this. How can you say that I'm a beggar, isn't it? But actually, the more we accept our position, the better are the chances to receive the mercy of the Lord. Right? So we have to be like a beggar, and in the mood, in that begging mood only, we should ask for the mercy. Then what will happen? We have a chance to receive the mercy. So in begging analogy, if we take, there are three steps. One is we have to glorify the giver. Okay. And we have to express our destitute condition. And the third is we should prayerfully ask him for the alms. Right. So we should glorify, and we should give us the condition which we are into, the destitute condition. And the third is we have to ask for the mercy. We should ask for the alms, isn't it? So if we see the Shikshashtakam flow also in the first five verses, the first verse is talking about the power of the holy name, right? How great the holy name is. And second, we are talking about our destitute condition, that it is so powerful, but still I am not attracted to it. Durdaiva midrisham ihajani nanuraga. And in the third, we are understanding that, how or what all things I have to do so that I can become fortunate, or I can receive the taste in the chanting. And in the fourth, we are talking about the aspiration of the one who has implemented properly the third verse. And in the fifth, he is asking for the mercy, isn't it? So here, if we see in this flow, we have glorified the Lord, and we have expressed our destitute condition, and in the fifth we are asking for the mercy. So in third and fourth we are having aspiration and some endeavor, but fifth we are actually focusing on asking for the mercy. Many times the problem is that we don't know how to glorify Krishna. We don't know that there is a glorification needed for Krishna and the need to understand his glorification or his glories, right? Second thing, we do not know how bad condition we are into, right? Sometimes a madman doesn't know his own condition. He might be thinking that, others are mad, I am actually intelligent. I have no problem, others have problem. That is what a mad person thinks. But a sane man or an intelligent man knows that, being a madman is a very difficult condition, right? So similarly, Lord knows that we are in a very destitute condition, but we don't know about it. See, for a soul which is Satchit Ananda, to live in a body which is Asat, Achit, and Nirananda, right? This body dies, but the soul never dies. This body always hankers for knowledge, but the soul has already all the knowledge. And soul is Ananda. It is always happy, and this body always want or works for happiness. So that thing which we have, opposite to that, we are functioning. It is a very, very bad condition, but we still don't know. When the body is working properly, there is no bodily pain. We will say like this life is also okay, na, right? But when there is a pain, when there is stomach upset, we will start blaming our body. This body, this material body is not good, always pain, upset, this and that. But actually, every moment we should remember that this body is not suitable for us. We have to stay in the spiritual world. We have to go back home, back to Godhead. But many times we forget this. And because of that, we also forget Krishna, how glorious he is, what are his glories and all. And here we are glorifying the Lord, not because just to impress the Lord. Okay, we are actually glorifying the Lord. Through that we get the purification, and we will understand that our position is very, very bad, right? So glorification of the God is not just faking or trying to impress by doing some exaggeration and all. Actually, Lord's glories are so much that we cannot glorify him enough, right? And our condition is so destitute that we cannot comprehend also. The more we know about ourselves, the more we will discover that we are in a very, very bad situation, right? And the more glories we know about the Lord, we will feel like, we don't know anything about the Lord, right? Even Lord Brahma says to the other demigods that our body is made in the mode of goodness, but we still cannot understand the Supreme Lord. What to speak about those whose body is made in the mode of passion and ignorance? Our bodies are in the passion and ignorance. Demigods' bodies in the mode of goodness. They cannot understand. What to speak about us who can understand, right? Who are into mode of good passion and ignorance. We cannot understand the Supreme Lord, right? So when we ask for the mercy, these two things will also improve. We will understand God, and we will also understand our situation. Then what will happen? The more we pray for the mercy, the more we get the mercy, the more we will become prayerful, and more mercy will come. And like that, our purification is guaranteed, and we can go back home, back to Godhead, right? So when we talk about this becking analogy, we should understand that our endeavors are important, but the mercy or the alms from the giver will come only when he wants to give, right? But just because he is independent to give, we cannot stop asking. We should keep on asking. Right? Why? Because we may be unqualified, but we are never disqualified. Right? Krishna's doors are always open. The road to Krishna is always open. No matter how deep we have fallen, right? Krishna can still come and rescue us. Right? He has rescued many other people. And here our demand or our request is also, we are not demanding, we are just requesting. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is requesting? Tava pada pankaja sthitadhuli sadrusham vichintaya. Please put me or situate me at the dust of your lotus feet, right? So if we ask this also, no, Krishna is so merciful. Now he keeps not at his lotus feet, but he actually keeps us in his heart always, and he want to take us onto his top of his head also, right? Many times we see what kind of services Krishna has given to his devotees. He became a charioteer to Arjuna, right? So that position where he can get the kicks from the Arjuna's legs also, right? So he was in a position where he is serving Yudhishthir Maharaj, and he is receiving the guest and washing their feet, right? So you tell me God is so merciful that he is ready to give us more than what we are asking, right? But he wants us to ask more sincerely, right? He's ready to shower all his mercy, but we are not sincere, we are not asking, right? So Lord is not like a normal person who will expect 100% effort from us and give back only 2 to 3%. He is in reverse, he's just expecting little bit from us, and he is ready to shower his mercy. The definition of the mercy, our senior Vaishnavas say that the mercy means it may take longer than you expect, but you will get more than you deserve, right? So many times we might ask, we might try, and we may not receive it. It may take longer time. But whenever we receive now, we will realize that, I don't deserve this. God is giving me so much, right? I don't deserve this much mercy. What did I do? Like, the great Vaishnavas, they will tell, like, oh Lord, you have done so much to me, and I have done nothing to you. That is what they feel. Because when the mercy shower is there, then we will realize that, our efforts are really very, very insignificant. That is why it is known as causeless mercy, right? That means cause is there, our effort is there, but it is so insignificant in front of the mercy that we receive. That is why it is said as causeless mercy. That means the cause is very less, okay, but still the mercy will come. So Krishna is always ready to shower the mercy on us, but we actually have to be patient, and we have to be sincere by knowing that Krishna's doors are always open, and our endeavor has to be more sincere and prayerful. So when we see the flow of Shikshashtakam, right? The first five talks about the Sambandha Jnana, the whole eight talks about Abhideya, and the final three talks about Prayojana. So first five talks about Sambandha means we have realized and understood that we have to establish our connection, our relationship with Krishna. And to establish that connection, what all things has to be done, what all things will happen, that is 1 to 8. And in the 6, 7, 8, the mood, if we see, then that is the result of putting our efforts, right? That is prayojana. So in general, we see sambandha means knowing that we have to establish our relationship with Krishna. Actually, not establish, it is re-establishment, because we are already connected, but we forgot. So we have to re-establish. And prayojana means all the endeavors or efforts that is required to develop that relationship. And third is prayojana. What is that prayojana? What we will get in the end? That is Krishna Prema, right? Prema Pumartho Mahan. So the greatest gift, okay, the greatest result that we are expecting is Krishna Prema, right? So that is possible when we actually fervently ask for the mercy of the Lord. Okay, so is it easy? No, it's not easy, but is it worth? Then we should realize that it is of great worth, more than what we can comprehend or what we can imagine. So this is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Lord, Supreme Lord himself, comes as a devotee and gives us this Shiksha Ashtakam, where we can understand that, how merciful the Lord is and what kind of mood we should maintain, what kind of endeavor we have to do so that we can receive his mercy. So we'll just recite this verse again, and we will close the fifth verse. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavambudho kripaya tava pada pankaja sthita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. O my Lord, O Krishna, son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servant. But because of my own fruitive acts, I have fallen into this horrible ocean of nescience. Now please be causelessly merciful to me. Consider me a particle of dust at your lotus feet. So we are not only asking to get the things externally better, but we are asking to change the consciousness itself. Okay, please lift me from the material consciousness to the spiritual or devotional consciousness. See, if the external things are changing, still we cannot be happy, because many times we have changed so many things in our house, in our life, but we are still not happy. What change we require, what transformation we required, is the transformation or the change of consciousness. If the consciousness is changed from material to spiritual, with the same things we still can be happy, right? So when we are in this world, we have to ask for the transformation in consciousness, and ultimately the same transformation of consciousness can take us beyond this world, that is to go back home, back to Godhead. Shri Shri Shikshashtakam ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam to all.